So the next section here she is entitled Religion Without God. She says another advantage of using the term idol is that it avoids a kind of dry intellectualism, as though people, choose a life philosophy the way they solve a logical puzzle. She says when people commit themselves to a certain vision of reality, it becomes their ultimate explainer. Right? So their vision of reality, their view of reality helps them to explain things. Explain what? Well, she says it serves to interpret the universe for them, to guide their moral decisions, right? To give meaning and purpose to life and all the other functions normally associated with religion. So notice, again, our beliefs kind of affect our behavior in these various ways, right? So in this section, she asked the question, is there one feature shared by all religions? Now, she's going to say yes, but she's going to suggest that it's not necessarily the feature that we think it is, right? And so she's going to go through various of these. And so the first one here you can deal with regard to morality.
Yeah. So if a personal deity is not required, which we kind of think when we talk about religion is, everyone always talks about a god when it comes to religion. Well, in many Eastern religions, they are kind of amoral. They teach that everything must be accepted as parts of the one or the whole, the yin, the yang, both good and evil. The goal is the balance or union of opposites. So
that's kind of interesting. Because everything is one, there is no good and evil because it's all the same.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's there must be balance to the force, and you can never get rid of the Sith or the dark side. There just must be balance, and that's the goal.
Well, the question is, how do you know that's the dark side if everything is one, right? There's no way to determine dark side from light side other than the side that I like, maybe, right?
And before Disney destroyed everything, there were some really good books out there. Because, as we know, only Sith deal in absolutes, and that's what we're going for here. So I don't know what that says about us. And then there's pantheism. Pantheism teaches that it's a mistake to draw any moral distinctions whatsoever. Everything merges into one. The end result, however, is that you can't distinguish good from evil, which means you have no basis for fighting against evil.
Right.
And
again, if everything is one, then everything is one. There is no good or evil. Right. Yeah.
So there are things like the movie Avatar that promotes this kind of Gaia-like hypothesis. Significantly, the Gaia is portrayed as beyond good and evil. One of the natives says, "Our great mother does not take sides; she protects only the balance of life," which then makes no sense because the whole second half or the third half of the movie is about fighting against the imperial, not Americans but Earthlings, to then stop this war from happening. But isn't the war in the whole plan of Gaia? Why are we stopping it? Doesn't this bring balance in some way of curtailing the species or? Well,
and there's a logical problem there. It's kind of subtle and sneaky, but the idea here is that what is this? Iwa is portrayed as beyond good and evil. And one of the natives says that our great mother does not take sides. Well, wait a minute. What does she do? She protects only the balance of life. Isn't that a side?
Yeah.
I think that's a side, right? So the balance of life, the balance of life then is the good that she's protecting. So she's not beyond good and evil. There is a good there. So the other side must be, I don't know what that side is, but clearly she's taken a side.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And somehow we can destroy her in the movie. But but James Cameron should not be the be-all, end-all for good movies. Polytheistic religions may demand rituals to appease the gods and guarantee good health and good harvest, but often they say nothing about morality. Anthropologist Mary Douglas discovered in her research that there is no inherent relationship between religion and morality. There are primitives who can be religious without being moral and moral without being religious. So indeed, pagan gods are often outright immoral, and we see this if you studied any Greek mythology, Roman mythology. Usually the gods are doing bad things, and humanity is reacting to that, including Zeus turned himself into a cow, and all the fun stuff of the Iliad and the Odyssey. The gods are not really ever portrayed as good. In fact, when they do good, like Prometheus, he does good for humanity. He's punished for all eternity. So there's no sense of real like objective goodness, and the gods aren't there to be looked up upon. They're just elements from the nature of where the Romans and the Greeks came from. So, where they saw immorous things or amoral things, they had gods in place to say, kind of, this is why they are.
Right. So they were used as an explanatory device.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So no one said Zeus was, the champion of the pantheon of the gods because he was the most, kind. He just happened to be the most powerful. And if you look at Greek and Roman civilization, I mean, that spoke a lot more than being an objective moral creature. So, do all theologies at least involve some kind of worship ritual? No. Again, in ancient Greece, Epicurean taught that the gods exist but take no interest in human affairs, and the blind watchmaker. Other religions that practice no worship include Brahmin Hinduism and Theravada Buddhism. So a lot of the kind of staples that we think of when you hear the word religion so far don't meet her expectation.
Yeah,
our expectations.
Right.